Okay, lots to discuss here. Week 1 opener. We have lost. We have fallen to the Los Angeles Chargers in a game where you hope it's a bad dream because it's everything you were fearful of going wrong with the Las Vegas Raiders early in the season. And look, this is a team sport. I'm not going to blame one player or coach for this loss, but I'm going to go in order of things that I think are most significant and least significant, but all of them encompass to create what we saw on the field there, which was an absolute embarrassment. And then at the end of the game to start fighting, like Jack Jones and them are like throwing haymakers as if we're the ones that are dominating the game. You're down 2 touchdowns. Maybe just go on the bench and think about how we can get better. And I'm not blaming the defense for losing this game. The defense is the only reason that we were still in this game. There's a lot to discuss. Let's go right off the rip to Gardner Minshew. Exactly what I thought it would be. He made a lot of nice plays. I would say, in fact, he did a couple things that I was surprised to see him do. He was a little more accurate than I thought. He was aware of how to run the offense, and he had a good rapport with essentially every single receiver. There wasn't one bad pass that he made that was forward. But then Gardner Minshew does what Gardner Minshew does. He goes to throw a pass, he brings it back, he tuck rules it, he throws it straight backwards in an area of the game where we're going to go up at least 10-3, maybe 14-3, and get the ball at half. Instead, he throws a backwards pass, and it's 7-6 going into half. We get the ball, go 3 and out. Gardner Minshew cannot afford to play on a team that loses the turnover battle and cannot run the football early. If we are chasing, if we are trying to catch the team ahead of us by consistently passing the football, and people like Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack know we're going to throw it, and they pin their ears back, it is over. That's why I said the success of this team hinged on the offensive line, Luke Getsy's play calling, and us being able to run the football. Because, again, if we lose the turnover battle, it is over. So I do not think Gardner Minshew was a huge reason we lost this game. He was put in this position because he's the veteran who's not going to turn the ball over, and he turned the ball over twice. I'm not going to say, it's time for Aiden. It's week 1. I'm not going to overreact to any singular thing that had happened in this game. The main reason I believe we lost this game is Antonio Pierce. And I've been singing the praises of Pierce since day one. I think he clearly shows that he's got these guys ready to compete, ready to give it their absolute all. But the team that was out on the field today was unprepared. Luke Getsy was calling a great game, and the offense did not seem to execute the play calling at a high level, especially the motion runs and the RPOs. They were getting blown up early. People were missing assignments, and we could not get 1 yard on multiple 3rd and 4th down runs. Antonio Pierce made a bad decision to go for it on 4th and 1 from his own 47-yard line. And then at the end of the game, where you need to go for it because your defense has gotten stop after stop, you punt the football back, and you don't get the ball back until you're down 2 scores. You got to be able to, when the chips are on the table, get 1 yard, and you have to be confident enough to go get that 1 yard. It was the right choice to kick the field goal, and that was a little bit of an improvement from AP last year, right? That was a good time management, game situation decision to kick that field goal because points are at a premium. You don't know that early in the game. You know that late in the game. Then we go 3 and out. We get the ball back, and then we do not go for it past the 50-yard line or right at the 50-yard line, 4th and 1. You got to be able to get 1 yard with the way Luke Getsy's been calling the plays, the way you've been running the ball so well in the second half, right? Because we started to run the ball well in the second half, which means that the offense opened up, and you don't go for it, and we never get the ball back. That's on Antonio Pierce. And he's a rah-rah guy. And again, I'm not going to overreact to 1 week. I've seen people saying that, oh, it's over. No, it's okay. Let's all take a collective deep breath. But we do have to talk about the things that happened today. And Antonio Pierce is my main culprit for why this team was not able to win this game. My second reason is the offensive line early on was very bad. We could not establish the run. And again, when you're going to roll out with Gardner Minshew, not roll out physically, I mean roll him out to start, you got to be able to establish the run. And once we did that on a couple of those drives, the offense opened up. And Gardner was able to distribute the ball pretty well. I actually thought he was pretty good, all things considered. He found the open guys. People were running wide open. Like I said, it would happen when we were able to run the football. The problem is we turn the ball over too many times, and I'm including the turnover on downs. We did not force a single turnover from the Chargers, and our defense was great, even without Kuntz and without Wilson. Our defense did everything it could. And my prediction for this game was it was going to be close late, one-possession game, and we were going to score a touchdown to make it look like a better win than it was, right? That's what happened, but it was the Chargers who scored that last touchdown to make it look better than it was. I think for about 65 to 70% of this game, we absolutely dominated it. But then in football, one play changes everything. And that Gardner Minshew backward pass was the first play that I was like, that's going to come back to bite us. Because you can't dominate the game as well as you have and be up 1 point at half. Because it takes one or two J.K. Dobbins runs to completely strip away all the hard work that you've put in to get 1 point above the team you're playing. So Antonio Pierce, not great. Gardner Minshew was fine. I don't know if we would have done better with Aiden. I would assume he wouldn't have thrown a backward pass. But here's what I will say. Gardner Minshew didn't really extend plays at a clip that would make me think he must play over Aiden O'Connell. Again, I'm not calling for Gardner's head. I don't think it's his fault. But right now, we're 0-1 and we got to go to Baltimore. And I said Gardner's got 4 games. And if we are 1-3 or 0-4 after those 4, why would you start him? The defense is great. It's been asked to do too much. And I said we're going to have games where it's going to feel a little Pittsburgh Steelery. And look at the difference between us and the Steelers. They played a team that was better than them. They kicked 6 field goals. They were able to force turnovers. We were not able to force turnovers as good as the defense played, and we missed field goals, and we didn't score touchdowns. We scored 7 points. That's not going to get it done, and that was the fear of every Raider fan when you said Gardner Minshew was going to be our starting quarterback. Because, yes, there was a game last year where we scored 0 points. Then the next game after that, we scored 49 on offense. And if Gardner's not going to run around and extend the play, right, why is he starting? But again, it's week 1, folks. We just need to remember that. Week 1s are always weird. There's always outcomes that happen that you question the sanity of the outcome. And I'm not saying that this is one of those times. I don't think the Chargers are very good. Right now, we don't look very good either, especially offensively. Right? Those were 2 evenly matched teams. But the Bengals lost to the Patriots in Cincinnati, okay? These things happen. And Zamir White and Alexander Mattison were able to run the ball a lot better in the second half of the game. The offensive line, which is the reason why Gardner Minshew is starting, was not healthy in the offseason. We don't have our starting left guard. Colton Miller looked rusty. The offensive line needs time to gel. We're going to see if we can establish the run early, week 2 against the Ravens. And I'm not going to call this a must-win week 2 because then we play the Panthers and the Browns. Either team that looks pretty bad, right? But I will say this. We have to establish the run early. I've been saying that for 5 months, and I don't think it's Zamir White's fault because when he had lanes, he hit them. And yes, he fumbled, but sometimes even when you're securing the football, a guy like Joey Bosa, who's 400 pounds of pure muscle, is going to punch it out. It is what it is. Let's not make a habit of it. But in the second half, we were able to run the football. Some untimely sacks, some bad penalties by us. I don't think this team today was prepared to play. They were all rah-rah and riled up, and the beginning of the game was good offensively and defensively. But then that was it. The defense held their own. They did all that they could, and the offense sputtered. And I'm not putting all the blame on Minshew, and I think Luke Getsy actually utilized all our weapons very well. I mean, Brock Bowers looked great. Devontae and Jacoby, we spread the love. Trey Tucker made some plays. The weaponry on the outside and in the slot looked fantastic. We need to be able to run the football. The problems right now are AP preparing this team to play, not turning the ball over and forcing turnovers, and running the football. That's how you lose football games in the National Football League, because our offense is not good enough to have to come from behind. We need to play with the lead. We have to. And when you have the lead, you need to be able to run the football. So I'm not panicking. But here's what I will say. These are my quick, instant reactions. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, I will be on Bleacher Report for a half-hour live streaming the complete game recap, and then I will upload that game recap here later. But please go there when I'm live, 1 p.m. Eastern. Get the comments going. Hit that like button, because I want to be able to go on Bleacher Report more and more. Right now, I'm just doing it month of September. Every Monday at 1 p.m., I will be recapping the game, so go check that out. Download the app. Thank you guys so much for watching. Join that Discord in the description below. We were talking the whole game. It was a blast through the ups and the downs. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/ALLaBorde Raiders. You get your name at the end of the credits. You get exclusive content. You get videos early. You get ad-free content. Take a deep breath. It's 1 week. Last year, we were 1-0, right? We were like, we're going to go into Buffalo, and we're going to kick their ass. And then what happened? Take a deep breath. It's 1 week. Please be sure to subscribe. It's free after, no charge to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.